Hello everybody, today I got a very special show. I have a very special guest. This is a product that I've been taking and promoting now for quite a while. It's ValAsta's Astaxanthin, and I believe it's helped so many people and myself as well, and I definitely recommend it. I've been limited of how much I could talk about this, believe it or not, as much as I do talk about it, because the FDA and everything else, I don't want to get kicked off YouTube and have to deal with the censorship issues with the FDA and everything else. And that's the same problem that the company has. But we have a surprise for you today when it comes to making claims that definitely are worth it, well worth it. So in this video, I'm going to be interviewing Sam Shepard, who is the owner of this ValAsta company. This product, I believe, is the best form of astaxanthin you can get on the market. I have many other videos explaining why. I'll post some of those links below this video in the description. But Sam's going to share the exciting news of what happened here with the ValAsta and why this ValAsta Astaxanthin has got some great news. So check out the video. Here it goes. And if you have any questions, post them below. And if you want to get this, you can go to my website, rawlife.com, and you can order it there. And of course, if you're a member of the Raw Life Health Show, you get 10% off. All right, everybody, here it goes.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show.
Hello, everybody. It's Paul with the Raw Life Health Show, and I'm so excited. Sam Shepard from the ValAsta company is here with us, and he has a product called Astaxanthin, which I promote so highly because I believe in it, but not just anyone, and the one he has, and we have some really good news to share. I'll be doing an interview with him about this, but Sam, share the exciting news.
We just, on April the 14th, got a patent. We're now the only company, ValAsta, that's able to provide astaxanthin for the treatment of disease, particularly cancer. This is really unique. It's not something that happens in the holistic or nutritional supplement markets, but we had provided tremendous research and showed the effects of this, and they responded. It took 8 years for them to review all the information that we had sent. And they've come back now after 8 years and granted us the patent.
Well, congratulations. There's a lot of astaxanthin products on the internet, but I've told you this before, the process that Sam takes to get it into the form he does is exclusive. And that's why I believe he's been approved this great thing here. And it does help with all diseases, but you're getting so much more out of it because the process he does out of ValAsta's. So I'm going to put a link below here. You can check it out in more detail on some of the other interviews we did. But I'm going to do an interview here in the next couple of days about this process and everything we're talking about. So be sure to catch it. And for those of you that are taking it, you already know because you have great testimonials. But Sam is he's the one that's putting this into existence. So thank you.
Hopefully it outlives us all. Yes. And people's health have got to be improved, especially after what we just went through with the pandemic.
Exactly. So there's a lot of interviews with Sam on my website, and you can check those out. And there's a lot more coming because I really strongly believe in this product. I take it every day. My family takes it, and you should as well. So Sam, thank you again for coming out, and congratulations.
Thank you, Paul.
All right, everybody, stay tuned for this interview, and thank you. Hello, everybody. It's Paul with the Raw Life Health Show. I am so excited because my guest today is Sam Shepard from the ValAsta company. Everyone knows about ValAsta because I've been talking about it. It's astaxanthin, but it's astaxanthin in its highest absorbable form. And there's many claims that people make about certain things, and a lot of people have wonderful testimonials about this, but some of them might not even be able to make any claims because the FDA and how crazy the FDA is, we're limited what we could say, especially if you're in a position like Sam Shepard, who owns this company, or even myself. Once you with the word cure or heals and you connect the disease, the next thing you know, people are knocking at your door. We're just trying to help people, folks. Well, it's my passion to get this in everyone's hand because this product works. I take it, my family takes it, and it's just amazing. It's ValAsta Astaxanthin, and just about everyone that orders it from my site ends up reordering it because they feel almost immediately the effects of it. So I got really exciting news. Sam Shepard is on the show today, and he's been so gracious to join us again. So let's see. There's There's Sam. Shalom. Hi, Sam. How you doing?
Shalom. Doing well. Thanks, Paul.
Very good. Thanks for joining us again. And it's been a while since you've been on, but everyone's loving it. Everyone's been having great uh, things to say about this product, and people keep ordering it. So that speaks for itself. And anyone out there with arthritis, cancer, or any other disease, this is going to help you. But specifically, uh, we're sometimes limited what we could say. Sam, get right to the great news. Tell everybody briefly about ValAsta and tell everyone why it's different than all the other astaxanthins out there, and tell them why it's even more different now.
Yeah. The good news I'm going to expand on here a little bit more, but back in 2013, we knew that we had something when we realized that the absorption rate of our product was 8.8 times greater than that which you see in the astaxanthin oil that you might buy at some other store or whatever. So in 2013, I filed for a patent. And the name of that patent was a method of using astaxanthin for the treatment of diseases, particularly a method for the treatment of cancer. Now, this was filed under patent requirements. We got several rejections on it, and so I had to go back in and modify it. And one of the objections was the patent office. When we filed the claims, we filed for 22 claims. The patent office came back and said, this is a process and a method. So they made me split it and into two separate patents. So the first patent had 10 claims in it, and it retains the title that I just said. And we went back and forth. We provided tremendous amounts of data. We provided all the National Institute of Health reports on this. And it went on. Usually it takes about 3 years to get a patent out of the patent office. That's their goal. This one here took 8 years. On April 14th, this year, like just a week ago, 10 days ago, we received the patent from the patent office. And that was a remarkable achievement. It was 8 years, a lot of money to get it, but it was absolutely well worth it, because now we have the recognition that there's something else that that allows us to go in and look at the effects this has on inflammatory diseases. The paradox we have is that the FDA requires us to market label the product as not to be used to treat or be used or cure. Certain words you can't use under the FDA rules and regulations. But the patent office requires me to put the patent number on the product that has that title, a method for using astaxanthin for the treatment of diseases, particularly a method for treating cancer. So I have a little bit of a dilemma here, but we're going to do both. We're going to comply with both requirements. The people get to choose which marking or labeling requirement they want, they want to adhere to, but we're required by law to do this. And this is just the silliness of government regulation is what this is about. So I'm not going to get all wrapped up about it. It's exactly what you just said, Paul. We're here to treat healthy people, or at least give information that allows people to treat their own diseases. This is more of an information issue, and I guess to at least give knowledge to people that they don't have this information. And how can you manage your own health if you don't have the tools to manage it? So that's the real objective here. It's not in who's treating or who isn't treating or what the regulation says. People need to know how to manage their health. And Paul, you're an expert at this. You've done this now for so long, and you're a wealth of information, and look at the people that take that information. And I really believe that people are smart enough to figure it out once they have the tools.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, this is big news because people here, yes, you waited 8 years to get this patent, but and I even told people, patent pending, you used to say in the interviews that I used to do with you. And somebody even said on one of the interviews, they said, oh, well, that's just patent pending. It's not like a patent. But now you have it.
Correct.
So tell everybody, like, what is not necessarily the process, because this is really big news, but how does it set you apart exactly from all the other companies out there now?
Yeah, the claims carry all the weight in a patent. So the 10 claims are there. What it separates us from is that we knew very early on that we had to increase the absorption capacity of this astaxanthin. I knew how it looked inside the algae cell itself as a glucosidic. But then when we processed it through what's called supercritical CO2 extraction, we would split that glucoside, that sugar, off of it in the processing. And we thought we were being clever, and the more pure the astaxanthin was, the more effective. That proved to be completely wrong. So when we realized this, then I began a technique using electromagnetic chemistry techniques it was a tool in my toolbox, where we could now attach the glucose or the lipid directly to the astaxanthin, the way it is in the natural form. So our product is more natural than the product that's currently being marketed around the world. That glucose that's attached to that astaxanthin, or the lipid that's attached to it, makes it very absorbable when it hits our small bowel. It's much easier for us to pick it up when it's a glucoside. And that's what the patent is based on. And I'll get the patent number. We now have to go through and change all of our marking and labeling requirements. And we're going to go ahead and publish that as required by law, so people can draw up the patent, read through it, and understand exactly what it is that we're doing.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So when exactly did you get this patent? When did it officially get approved?
It granted April the 14th of 2021.
Okay.
And they changed the patent laws in 2013, where the 20-year protection starts at the date of filing. So it depends on how the patent office writes it up as the filing date, because I technically filed in 2013, but we split the patent in 2019. And it all depends on when they pick up the actual filing date. If it's 2019, then I've got protection until 2039. If it's 2013, then I've got protection until 2033. But it's just the information needs to be out there. I'm not too concerned about the monopoly side of patents and the royalties and all that. We're not even charging royalties for it. So the whole idea is get this information out, let people know that they can now get in control of their own health.
Yeah, and so I want people to understand this. There's two things here. In this video right now, we're talking about the patent and what we could say, and it's a big thing because it's getting the information out to people that we're literally allowed to do now, and you're allowed to do, and print it out and so on. That's really big, but it goes beyond that, because it's not just what you're saying. The product actually does that. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. Even before, it's not like all of a sudden now you discovered a way for the product to work. The product always worked, folks, and it does work. But now he could he's more free to talk about how it works and the results he gets. So, look, so many people contact me, and with all these issues, and now lately I've been saying, take this product. It works. I mean, everyone's ordering it again. They're not just, and it doesn't take a long time to, that's the other amazing thing, everybody. You know, I tell people things to take things. They say, how do you know it's working? I don't feel any difference. I said, well, when you stop taking it, you might feel the difference, but it's working, other things. But this, you feel the difference right away. I mean, I took this, I couldn't sleep right away. I knew this was powerful. And if you're taking, I had one lady, she had a brain tumor and she took a CRP blood test after taking this for a couple of months and it come down to normal. You know, and this is everything you were telling me when I first met you, and I'm
Yep.
seeing results.
Yeah, yeah. I had a little bit of a head start on you, and most of the people, and you run into this too, Paul, the skepticism you expect. This is not snake oil salesman. This is founded in very solid biochemistry. The National Institute of Health has several hundred peer-reviewed papers, probably over 1,000 now, of peer-reviewed papers on this, and they've come to the same conclusion. That information is available, and I would like for people to even search for it. You don't have to believe us, but believe the responses from it, and believe what unbiased research is now showing. You know, I was skeptical. And I lost family members to cancer because I wouldn't give it to them at very early stages of this because I didn't know whether it would do any damage, you know, to liver or kidneys. It turns out it didn't. Didn't damage mine. It actually improved my health tremendously. I have no arthritis. I survived COVID. I got no inflammatory response from COVID. It truly is a remarkable product. It's natural. It's God-given. There's not any modifications. It's as natural as it gets.
And it's vegan, folks. It's vegan as well. I want to clarify that up because some people have a misconception of that. It's 100% vegan. And yeah, I mean, I just did another video with Sam about how he survived COVID and how it's more than likely this was the reason why, and we went through it in that video in great detail. And I'm so glad you're taking this because who knows what would have happened if you weren't when you got the COVID.
Without a doubt. And you know, if I wasn't taking that, I would not have been alive to even carry this on because I only had a 10-year survival window after I was diagnosed with cancer. So I was diagnosed in 2003, had a 97% chance of dying before 2013. And now it's 2021. And there's no sign of any cancer in me at all. If I didn't find this, I knew I was, you know, a dead man walking.
Sure. Well, I'm just too excited about this because I know when I found out about it, my friend's wife had cancer and she was trying everything. Like she took a lot of things, and later on in her fight with cancer, she ended up getting this product, and she did pass away. But her husband told me, Paul, of all the things she took, if she would have took this sooner, she felt she would be alive. She would be alive because they saw the results. And I want to urge everybody not to wait. You know, it's that important. So please listen to me and Sam what we're saying here. And anyone that knows me and follows me knows, I mean, I don't promote anything that I wouldn't take myself and I don't strongly believe in. And I get people ask me to promote things. I don't, because I don't believe in a lot of things, but I truly believe this. I'm behind this. And me and Sam have a mutual friend, Dr. Fred Bishy, who's 91 years old. And he was the one that told me about this product and raves about it. It's just a brilliant mind from a health standpoint and understanding the body. You know from Sam, from the videos I've done with him, all the knowledge he has about the human body and health. And now I'm excited and I'm happy for you that it's no longer patent pending. It has a patent now.
Yeah, there was so much, and I've never got to say I was even doubtful after having gone for so long, because I was reaching the point of maybe this is futile of getting this patent. And then my patent attorney kept saying, no, you can't give up now. You're in too deep. And I'm going, okay, so we'll just stay in deep water for how long? And he said, we're going to give it one more shot. And when they granted that patent, the first thing I did was thank God. Because this was not what I truly expected. I figured I was going to have to either change claims, change the title, do something, or walk away from it. And perseverance was the name of the game. At the point where I was thinking about giving up is when it actually happened. And I'm elated that at least a government agency recognized it. And it's not, and you run into this too, it is virtually impossible to patent a natural product. So
Exactly.
we knew that from the beginning. So we patented the process at which we could attach that glucose to the astaxanthin. And
Wow.
that's what they accepted.
Wow. And so let me ask you, I know in our last video we spoke about COVID, and that's not the subject of today's video, but there are a lot of people close to me that are getting the vaccination, and a lot of people out there are getting it, and they're getting sick.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe, based on the sickness they're getting, which is the reaction to the vaccination, I do believe even if somebody decides to take the vaccine, me and you already discussed that in the last video, if it's safe to take it or not. But even if somebody believes it is safe and they take it, they're going to not feel well from the vaccine. Will this still help them?
It will.
Yeah.
What's going to happen, and we're seeing more and more of it now, from 1 month to 9 months out, you're going to generate an inflammatory disease of some sort. Your body's going to react. Your C-reactive protein is going to go high. Your white blood count's probably going to go high. Your neutrophils and basophils are going to look at this as a foreign entity. The problem that I have, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I think polio saved a lot of lives, and there's chickenpox and measles and all that. So I'm not an anti-vaxxer. What I'm against is that the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccines are not vaccines at all. They're gene therapy. Moderna has never developed a vaccine. They're a gene therapy company. But what happened was they were forced, or they forced the Trump administration to call it a vaccine for liability purposes. Vaccines are exempt from lawsuits, whereas gene therapy is not. So Moderna stated that they had to have it referred to as a vaccine, and so did Pfizer. The Trump administration agreed to do that, and it was for liability reasons. So when people got sick, they couldn't sue Moderna and Pfizer. The mRNA that's in those are going to be read by the ribosomes over and over again. It doesn't seem that these mRNAs are being degraded over time, which means that they're in there being read every single day, generating more and more of this antigen type protein. And that protein builds up in the cell, and pretty soon the cell ruptures, and that rupture creates an inflammatory response. If there's nothing to turn off the reading of that mRNA, this inflammation is going to go on indefinitely. So if the best way to measure it is going to be your C-reactive protein, if that number is greater than 3, you need to be on this product. You need to get a hold of Paul Neeson like right now and get on it and get that number less than 3, because if you don't, it'll go into a chronic inflammatory disease state, and you're going to be predisposed for cancer, heart disease, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, irritable bowel, all the inflammatory diseases.
I have a warning to people. I know there's an expiration date on here that's like over a year. It's over a year out, the expiration date. So it is like 2 years or something. And I know how it works. I know it'll last long, but you got to put that on there. I know all that stuff. But I'm telling people, the more people that find out this works, the way it usually is, I'm not speaking this into existence, but the way it usually is, the more successful a product is, the more it's, let's say, taken off the market or something, and nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. But I'm pleading with people, please get this, try it, and once you see like what we're saying is true and it works, stuck up on it because we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. And this is what you want in your house. And I don't think I don't know how many people are out there that buy as much as I do at one time, because I strongly believe that this is important to have and very valuable. And
there's more pandemics coming. This whole idea that this is a one-off pandemic is not true. Even the CDC, the NIH are saying, man, we got to hold on to our seats here, because over the next decade or so, we're going to have more of these. And it's not the virus that kills people. It's the inflammation. We've gotten this now that allows us to manage our inflammation, our inflammatory disease state, and get it under control, and don't let it go wacko on us. Don't let it go out into left field until it's too late. So many calls, and Paul, you probably get these too, where people are call up and in a state of panic. They've been sent home with hospice, and I get these calls. I've got 3 months to live. Can you save my life? And I'm going, I don't save anybody's life. That's between you and God. But we need to improve your quality of life. We need to get you to a point where you're managing and you're responsible for your life. Here's the information. Here's the product. You get in control of this through knowledge and having enough wisdom to know what to do. And that's a struggle. When people call up and it's too late, you've got to have at least 4 weeks to get your immune system back up again. And that's it just stabs my heart when prevention's the name of the game. Everybody on the planet ought to be taking this thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I don't want to make light of the situation, but somebody was at my house the other day and they said they can't get COVID. They cannot get it. I said, well, how can you not get it? They said, well, I don't watch the news, so I can't get it. So there's a lot more to the story, everyone. And this isn't just, this will do great. And now with COVID, but it's for everything. But I want to be clear that this won't prevent somebody from getting COVID, but getting COVID is not serious if your body's able to handle it. And this is going to help you handle it if you get it. So that's important to point out. And also, again, this isn't a COVID medicine. This is everything medicine: cancer, arthritis, colitis, Crohn's disease, inflammatory. There's one disease with many different stages, folks. And the latest stage of disease is inflammation. And many of us don't realize we have inflammation going on unless we take a blood test, until it's too late or we feel something. And, we want to do our best to prepare and just be prepared. So this is why I definitely recommend this. And everyone that knows me knows. Anyone that comes to my house, I have the bottles here. I take it. Everyone knows that. And I have red fingerprints everywhere in my house. Everyone knows I take it. It's a great thing.
When I was doing the oil, Paul, I used to, go outside and have a big red spot right above my eyebrow where I thought I had an itch. And so I walked around with red war paint. And finally, my wife would look at me and said, "You've been in the Astaxanthin, haven't you?" And I said, "What do you mean?" "Well, your face is all marked up with red." It goes a long way. It's that electrostatic property is the same thing that makes it work in your body. But it does go a long way. It doesn't take much to get on your finger.
Yeah, I actually, I don't even use the capsules anymore. I just squirt it in my mouth.
Yeah.
And it's just wonderful. It's just so great. So Sam, I know you're so busy, especially now, and you keep getting busier. Thank you so much for taking the time to share the great news with me and everyone else. And everyone, if you have questions for Sam, put them below the video and we'll have him back and do some more Q&As. But please see the other videos I did with Sam. I'll post some links below this video. This is really important stuff. And I'm really glad we can get this information out now. And you said there was for 10 diseases you're allowed to talk about this? There were 10 specifically?
Well, it's the inflammatory diseases.
Yeah.
So there's coronary artery disease, cancer, arthritis, type 2 diabetes, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, MS, and we're looking at it now for ALS. ALS appears to be Alzheimer's disease of the body nerves, whereas Alzheimer's is of the neurons in the brain. But
Sure.
we're also now seeing success with ADHD, ADD children in their attention span. And we can slow the electrical activity down in their brain when we get those free radicals out of their brain, and it allows them to improve their overall focus in their studies. There's a lot more work that needs to be done to show that. But the results so far are pretty astounding.
Yeah. And did you say inflammatory bowel disease as well? IBD?
Yeah, it does.
Colitis? Yeah.
Crohn's diverticulitis. There's even some microbiome issues that cause inflammation in the small bowel and also in the colon. And that any form of inflammation, everybody should be measuring their C-reactive protein. And during COVID, they referred to comorbid diseases appeared to be quite fatal when you get COVID. Well, what they mean by that is a comorbid disease is anything that elevates your C-reactive protein greater than 3. So if your C-reactive protein is greater than 3, you are comorbid. It can be obesity related, it can be heart disease related, but it's the same thing. So you don't want to have a comorbidity. You don't want to have a C-reactive protein greater than 3. And that's the prevention game. And everybody should be feedback controlling that around that number. And you won't get those inflammatory diseases.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited because we can get this message out, and your information is just such wonderful knowledge. So I pray people take this seriously. I have so many interviews with Sam, and I'm going to have more. Yeah, I'll put the links below the video. Sam, thank you again so much for sharing the news, and we'll be talking again.
Thanks so much, Paul. God bless.
All right, everybody, that was an amazing interview with Sam, and this product, I'm so excited to get it in people's hands. And yes, there's many diseases that this will help, and I know firsthand because I know so many people close to me that have taken it and have gotten great results, and I felt the difference myself when I started taking this. So everybody, again, the link is below the video to purchase this, and if you're a member of the Raw Life Health Show, you get 10% off. There'll be a link for the Raw Life Health Show as well. Until then, everybody, have a great day and a great raw life.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life.